Hello guys, welcome back to Pause. Adam here and welcome back to World Discovery. This is part 12 of our Planet Coaster Epcot inspired World Showcase Park. So if you go on to enjoy this video, please give us a like down below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and also check out the link in the description to our Discord server if you would like to have a chat with me or anyone else in our community. So let's jump into today's episode now. I'm getting back into the Log Flume firstly today. So a few people mentioned in the comments of the last couple of videos, and I did ask for your guys' opinions about the outdoor area that we did a few episodes ago. And a few people said it doesn't really match the theme of the ride and it's a bit random. Now I completely agree with this, so I've taken everything out, well pretty much everything out, all the rocks, all the random water chutes and things like that, they've all gone. And instead what I'm going to use here is I'm doing a bit of terrain work, so you go through some caverns and caves, and I'm putting in a few waterfalls. I think it works a little bit better, I think it matches the theme a little bit better, as there are quite a lot of stunning waterfalls in Mexico, so this kind of links to that a little bit more than just the random bits and pieces that we had there before. So yeah, I think it works a lot better. I've also removed the scorpion. I don't think it was suitable for this kind of ride, so that's gone. But I'm leaving the little alligator crocodile thing. But yeah, the rest of it is remaining. The drop is staying as it is, but I have taken out pretty much everything else low level around this outdoor area, and I think it turns out a lot better than it did before. There's some slow-mo shots at the end of this video, so you can make your mind up from that one. But let me know what you think. If you prefer this new version, or you still think there can be work to be done, let me know, as I can always jump back into this before we finish off this ride. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below what you would like me to do. Now the next thing we start in this episode is also a little bit more in the Mexico sort of village area of the town, and that's what we're just starting here. So I wanted to put in a waterfall that you can see from the Mexico area, and also I needed something in this back portion of the park to fill the space. So what we decided to do is make this little sort of waterfall, little lagoon area, and then eventually we put a kind of pathway up to it, which is basically going to be a little viewing area for the waterfall. So that's one thing we start doing a little bit later on. But as part of this sort of side of the Mexico area, we're just putting in a few more little buildings. This one is going to be sort of an abandoned shack that's all run down, and it's got like wood over the door and all that kind of stuff, where it obviously used to be used. Again, linking into our little idea that this village was once a sort of prime real estate, but over the years it's kind of become dilapidated, and things are just not what they once were. So this is just an indication of that through one building that's all boarded up, and then next to this we do put an actual functional shop in, which from what I remember, I think we put in gulpy drinks, just normal gulpy drinks, using some of these adobe wall sets, which again someone in the comments did suggest using these as part of the Mexico area as well, which we are doing, and they work really well and they suit the area, so thank you for that suggestion. I think there was a bit of a confusion in my initial World's Fair video, where I think I called these Moroccan or something. I think I called them the wrong set. I don't know. I'm not very good on my on my types, but thank you for whoever pointed that out in the comments. Like I say, I do take them all on board. I do read them all, so thank you for that. So like I said, here we're just putting in a little bit, well, another building very similar to the first one, just to fill in this little gap, and then next to this is where we start building the pathway up to the waterfall. And I think it works out quite nicely. It sort of finishes off the area quite well, and like I say, my idea for this is mainly just to have as many food, drink, shop outlets in each area as possible, as that's the kind of focus of this park. Really, it's more the features and the cultures rather than the rides, as I mentioned a few times. And then the other thing we do today is a full light pass of the Mexico area, to make sure it's ready for evening, and we're pretty much there with it now. So there's probably going to be one more episode in Mexico, just tying up the loose ends, just filling out this last little bit of pathway between being here and the water, well, the main lake, I should say, because what we're going to do there is build a bridge across the little channel, and that'll take us into the next country, and then we're going to keep working ourselves around. I still haven't decided 100% what we're going to do with the next country yet. A lot of people have put in suggestions, so thank you for that. And again, if you do have any more, feel free to drop them down below. But yeah, that'll probably be potentially next episode, finishing Mexico. Episode after that, so number 13 or 14 will probably become the next country, if all goes to plan. I don't know. There's quite a lot happening at the moment. So I'm going to try and get these out as much as possible. But as I mentioned before, I try and do a bit more content in these World Discovery videos. So they do take me a bit longer to make. But we've got Parkitect campaign cracking off at the moment. So if that's something you're interested in, it's basically a throwback to like the old RollerCoaster Tycoon style games. So if that's something you want to check out, have a look on the channel. We've got a campaign series started, following through the brand new release of version 1.0. And we've also got our Christmas, what's it called? Firewood Grotto. That's it. Firewood Grotto. Our Christmas build is also into episode 3 or 4 now on the channel. So again, to get you into the festive holiday spirit, check that out as well. As we've got quite a lot of series ongoing at the moment, so I'm trying to spread them out as best as I can. But yeah, it's just a case of I need to just find time to record them all, really. So I'm trying my best, honestly. So back to today's video then. This little area, like I say, is going to be just a kind of viewpoint for the waterfall. I like this little idea of like a raised up platform built into the rocks. I think it looks quite nice. We had some trees, foliage, bushes, plants and all that kind of stuff around the edge just to fill in the space. And I think it turns out quite nice. But we might put 1 or 2 more buildings in just to the right hand side of this pathway here. Like I said, because that little path between here and the next country is going to consist of a bridge. So that's, like I say, something we'll do next time. And I think depending on what country we choose will depend on what style of bridge we go for. So that's what I kind of need to decide that really before I start on the bridge, which, like I say, we'll do next time. So here, just putting the finishing touches on the gulpy, and then I'm just finishing up some little sort of trees, just to cover up the back of the buildings from the guest perspective, just using some of the bamboo. Again, just to add that little sense of immersion to the area. So here I was just checking the area, making sure the sight lines worked, making sure everything looked okay, putting in a few berms just so we got some natural sort of pathways and fencing through the berms. And now I just thought, like I say, we'll do a little bit of a lighting pass. So what we decided to do in this area, and it's a little technique that I actually used in one of my old parks, Hysteria Valley, which hopefully will come out one day. But yeah, the idea to sink in these lantern brackets into trees, and I think it works quite well. I used them in a sort of pirate area before. I think it kind of fits this kind of Mexican feel of lanterns kind of just attached to any old surface, and I think it works. I didn't want there to be actual lampposts, as I don't think that would have truly fit the theme, and there's nothing that's overly screams Mexico, to be honest, in terms of the lampposts, and there's not that many to pick from. So let's be creative, and let's thought we'll just hang these everywhere and give it that kind of random feel, but I think it suits the atmosphere that we're going for. Like I said, it's meant to be a little village, little town, so I think it's quite realistic that they would just stick these lanterns everywhere, and that's what we've gone for. So a few little spotlights on the waterfall, a few more of these lanterns around, and then we just light up the trees and the temple and all that kind of stuff with some spotlights of various different colours to just really finish this area off in terms of its lighting. And I hope you agree, it's come out quite nicely. I think the area flows quite well. We've obviously split it up into the 2 branching paths, and that was the aim, to get people sort of moving around a bit. The American area was very much just one path, and that's what I wanted to do, is kind of just introduce these different pathways to go. Now we've got this little path up to the waterfall as well, so there's various little angles and little branching, sprouting areas where the guests can flow. And that's what we want to go for all the way around this park, really, just to give the little peeps different options of where they want to go and view and see things. So that's what we're going to continue on throughout the build. So we are coming to the end of today's time-lapse footage. So I hope you've enjoyed this so far. Like I said, next time we are going to get back into that Log Flume. We'll finish off the indoor section, and we might even do a little POV if we get it finished. We need to obviously sort out the music and triggers and all that kind of stuff, but I think we can get that done in one episode. And then we'll, like I say, we'll finish up the last little bit of pathway in this Mexico area, and then hopefully by the end of the next episode we'll have finished Mexico, and then we can move on to country number 3. So it's coming together now. We are slowly getting there in this park, I should say, and it's slowly getting to what I was envisioning at the start, and that's the main thing, really. I had a rough plan in mind, and how we get to that, the end goal, really is just the fun bit, really, to figure out what we're doing throughout this experience. So now here are a few little slow-mo shots of what we've done today, and just a little look around the area, and also a sort of more in-depth look at the new scene of the Log Flume, the new outdoor scene. So like I said, please do let me know if you still think there can be improvements to be made on that. I can always jump back in and make some more improvements up there, but let me know if you prefer it to the old one. I do. I think it looks a bit better. I think it suits the theme better. But like I said, I'm completely open to your guys' suggestions. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like down below. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our content. Any questions, queries, comments or suggestions, drop those down below, and I'll try and read and answer the majority, but I definitely read every single one. And if you want to have a chat with me or anyone else from the community, there is a link to our Discord server in the description below this video. So thank you ever so much, guys, and I'll see you next time for more from World Discovery here in Planet Coaster. Cheers, bye.